Well, take a bow, son. I mean that, take a bow.
So, another loss, this time against Palace away. Not good enough. There's a few points I wanted to touch on in this video. Something that has been annoying me, like on people saying on Twitter, and just a few things that I feel like need to be addressed. So, obviously, 2 against Palace. It's what, our 3rd loss of the season? Burnley, City and Palace. It's not... I mean, we're at the same place we were last season, I think points-wise. That's at least what I heard yesterday. I haven't checked it. So, for us to say we're like out of the title race or whatever, it seems a bit stupid because obviously we said it last season and Conte turned it around. And I have complete faith in Conte. However, this season, even if we went on a silly winning streak again, I just feel like we're so far behind the likes of United and City. Not only our starting 11's definitely at least almost on par with them if everyone's fully fit. But past that point, unless we have a insane season like we did last season where we barely had any injury problems, I just can't see us finishing any higher than 3rd. Which is a shame, really, because last season we should have built on something, but I mean, we all know what happened in the summer. I don't need to go through that again. So yeah, there's 4 main things I wanted to touch on, actually. So, Batshuayi. Saw a lot of hate for him, and a lot of it is justified in a way, because he really needs to improve his link-up play, but at the same time, he's not a lone striker, and I can't see him being one anytime in the future. He hasn't got that overall game like Morata has, like Drogba had. His link-up play and his presence and his movement as a lone striker is quite poor. When he plays up front with another striker, I think he's really good. So that's what his future at Chelsea will depend on, if he is able to pair with another striker. That, or he relearns the position, which Conte hints at in interviews that he has been. But in games, he doesn't seem to know what he's doing. And I think it was Ian Wright last night was analysing his movement, and it's just wrong. He just looks like a nervous striker who's afraid to do the wrong thing, and he doesn't take the gambles. He won't make the runs in behind that he should do. So I don't know what's going to take. I don't know if maybe if he gets a few more games, he scores a few more goals, maybe his confidence gets up, and I don't know, maybe he turns things around. But I just don't think it's his game. The same way like the likes of Chicharito, not a lone striker, in my opinion. He's too limited in his play. Batshuayi is a poacher from what I've seen of him, and he's pretty good at it as well. But I don't know. If Conte's got no faith in him, we need to get another striker in. I'd hate to see him leave, but that's going to have to be what happens. Hopefully Morata's back sooner. Next point is Gary Cahill. Very quick one. Needs to be dropped. Been saying it for a couple of years now, but it's getting to a point now where it's embarrassing, not only in his own performance, but the fact that we've got the likes of Christensen, who he is stopping and blocking their paths to the first team. Christensen is a really good centre-back, and he could be world-class. We've got Kurt Zouma out on loan, and it's a joke, really, how he's not only captain, I think he was sort of captain by default, but why he's still playing, or even at the club. Cesc Fabregas, I don't know, it's hard for me to say this, but I think he's running out of time. Last season he was phenomenal, and he was playing mainly off the bench. And when he did start, he had some okay games and he had some quite poor games, but he was phenomenal off the bench, like really, really good. Easily one of our players of the season. But he doesn't seem to be able to do it when he starts, and I don't know why, and I don't know what's changed in his game or the system or whatever, but he just doesn't seem to be able to make that same impact. I don't think he's any different than the player we signed a few years ago. I really don't. I don't think he's any slower. I don't think he's... If anything, he's got more physical. He's clearly been hitting the weights. I don't understand. I don't know what happens with Fabregas. Maybe just hit a bad run of form. I don't know. But I hope he picks it up soon, because on his day he's absolutely brilliant, magical. But right now, starting games, he's just not good enough. And last point, Antonio Conte. I think this is his last season at the club. I think if we continue to do as we do, if he finishes 3rd or 4th, I think Abramovich will consider other managerial options, which sounds mental, but we sacked Jose Mourinho after he won the title. But also, I think he wants to leave, and I feel like after the summer where he wasn't given exactly what he wanted, he's got so many options. He's arguably the best manager in the world, or best coach anyway. So, it's a shame, really, but bar a miracle in the Champions League, I do think this is his last season. No idea who we're going to get in to replace him at the end of the season, but I mean, is it that much of a surprise that a Chelsea manager's going to leave after 2 seasons at the club? No. It's just, I don't know, it hurts a little bit, this one, because he's done some wonderful things in the year or so he's been here. And I really was hoping that we had this youngish manager who is clearly brilliant, and maybe he would stick around for 4 or 5 years, build a dynasty, and then I don't know, pass it on to someone else. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Bar some sort of miracle in the near future, or City or United going off the rails, which I find it hard to believe both of them will do 2 seasons in a row, especially how City are doing. I mean, they won 7-2 and demolished us as well. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season. I just can't see us doing anything particularly amazing, and then Conte will probably leave, but see what happens anyway. But yeah, fucking shit versus Palace, wasn't it?